I'm going to show you how to change the countershaft sprocket seal on a Kawasaki KLR650. So I got my 10mm out here. I'm going to start by removing the sprocket cover. Next, I located my 27mm socket and my hammer and punch so I can remove the lock washer on the sprocket nut. Remove the nut and the washer, and now we're back by the back wheel. I always use the side cutters to remove these cotter pins, and then we're going to use our 27mm socket again to remove the rear axle nut. I just pushed the axle out far enough to move the wheel forward, release the other side's chain adjuster, and then you can move the chain out of the way and remove the sprocket. I used a flathead screwdriver to just pop the seal out. I usually grab the spacer with the pliers and pull it out, but the spacer on this one was really stuck, so I popped the seal out first with a flathead. Came out really easy, and I was able to get behind the spacer with a pick and kind of break it loose before I grabbed it with my pliers and pulled it off of there. Now, this is my dad's bike. He purchased the All Balls Racing seal kit, which came with a new spacer, new O-ring, and the seal itself, and also a new washer for the lock washer for the sprocket nut. So it's a really complete kit. I wasn't really worried about damaging anything, but as you can see, I could have reused that spacer. Behind the spacer that the seal rides on, there's a little O-ring, and O-ring sits in a little groove, and this one was pretty stuck, so as you can see it broke as I took it off, but we got a new one. Next thing, I wanted to get the chain out of the way. I could have done this earlier, but with the chain off the rear sprocket, you can kind of work it around the shaft and get yourself a lot of room to install the new seal. So first I'm putting on the new O-ring. I always use grease on my O-rings and seals. Slipped right on there, and then I'll go ahead and pop the seal in. This one went in pretty easy. I was almost able to push it most of the way in by hand, and then just used a hammer and punch to kind of tap around the outside and get it seated evenly. Then you can install the new spacer. Then we can put it back together. Start by working the chain around the shaft and putting the new sprocket on. Well, in this case it's not a new sprocket, I was just replacing the seal. The old man had a puddle on the garage floor, so just trying to fix the oil leak on this case. So we put the sprocket back on, and then we're going to go ahead and get the chain in place and put it back together the rest of the way.